Morning everybody and welcome to the new week. So we're going to start off with Aussie as usual on the weekly, and before we get into it, if you haven't subscribed or you're a new viewer, please click the red button and subscribe. It'll help us get a much bigger reach and share the love. So turbulent times, a lot of things going on in the market still, and haven't seen any crazy news over the weekend except for Asia, who are panicking a little bit over the trade wars. So I have a feeling we probably going to extend that this week as well. So, okay, a couple of things. On the weekly, we are definitely still in a bull trend and an uptrend. You can see we've had three touches on this trend line. Okay, but on the weekly here, with we've got Chico span, which has come through. Okay, broken through price here. We have Keatonson, which was rejected over the last week, so we extended past it and came back onto it. Okay, and then obviously we are sitting in between Keatonson and Dickinson, just above the cloud. So there is a flat cloud here as well, which basically indicates that we are ranging. There's just no direction. So the question is, what are we going to do? We're going to move down back to this trend line, okay, or are we going to extend beyond it? Now, the one thing that you do need to bear in mind is, from a Fibonacci perspective, that turned right at the 76.4 extension of the Fibonacci. And the reason, and normally when that happens, that is a retracement of the bigger move. And the bigger move in this case would be this move down. And I think what we have to do today is just draw that line across the top of those three there. Okay, so this is the short-term downtrend. This is the long-term uptrend from 2016. Okay, so we're looking for one of them to break for a continuation of whichever trend. Otherwise, we're just coming into a triangle, which is just going to consolidate like this. Okay, but that'll take quite a while. So let's look at the daily. So the daily, we are obviously still under the cloud, and we're in this short-term downtrend, okay, basically from the beginning of February. Now, we've had a bullish crossover. So CKNet and Dickinson crossed over here, bullish, right? We then have a potential crossover about to happen here. So the twist, the cloud twist, right? Chico span is nowhere. Okay, we're still behind price. We're behind Dickinson, behind Keatonson, and behind the cloud. So this is not really. So we've got, from an ichimoku perspective, we've got two bullish signals out of three. Okay. Another bullish view here is the 200 daily moving average. And remember, I've shown this before. If we go back in the data, and you see how we broke through the 200 here, and then bounced around it underneath the cloud, and then broke up to the upside. Okay. And every time we've come to this 200, we haven't stayed below it for long before breaking up. So you can expect the 200 EMA to offer a lot of resistance, support in this case, as we're above it. And the other thing that we did, so from a bearish perspective on the daily, is we did bounce off. Let's just move this. We bounced off the bottom of the cloud, yeah. And normally, this is the way price action functions. It comes up, it finds some resistance at Keatonson. If that fails, then it looks at the cloud. And if that fails, it looks at the top of the cloud. Okay, so that's typically where you find some resistance brewing. I guess just get down to the 4 hour and see what kind of opportunities we have today. I'm going to just delete this. Okay, so the 4 hour is bullish. Okay, you can see Chico Span is through the cloud, it's through price, it's clean air, so there's nothing up here holding it back. Kijinson and Tekinson are up here. The only thing we do have is the price has fallen between Kijinson and Tekinson. Okay, the future is bright. So from the cloud perspective, we've had the twist and been heading up, although we flattened out on Friday, and that flattening out was to be expected. You're not going to see people holding their positions over the weekend, not with the volatility that we have at the moment. So for me, my view is as follows today. I'm looking for this to break this range there. So Friday was essentially a range day. Well, Thursday closed, and then most of Friday was a range day. Quite a few buyers on the 200. You see quite a few buyers here. As price came back to here, they're buying, pushing it back. But this could also be the people that were selling their shorts, okay, were buying back their shorts. So they would have gone short at the top here and then getting out here. Okay, so what we're looking for is a break of this range. And I will settle for a break of this bar. So let's just get rid of this, because this will get me into the market a little bit earlier, okay? Clearly need more coffee. Okay, so you can see how we at the 50% of this bar. Where are we now? 56. Futures at 56,700 right now. 5,700, sorry. Which is pretty much where we closed. Okay, so we haven't really moved much over the weekend, which is good. So we're sitting in the middle of this closing range, right on the 4 hour 200 EMA. Okay, and if you go back to the daily, bear in mind that we're on the 200 daily EMA as well. So this is kind of what I'll be looking for, and to get my entry, we're just going to get down to the hour. And I mean, if you look at that hour, look at all this indecision. Barbed wire. Need tails to the bottom, tails to the top. Lots of indecision, lots of barbed wire. Okay, on the hour, we've had a bearish crossover there. Okay, the cloud is flat. No signals there. Chico Span is still above price and still in a bullish. So we've got one bearish signal. And we're not off apart from the 200 EMA, there's not a major level that we are bouncing off, or are we? No, because that level is here. You see this level here that we sat and tried to get through so often. We haven't tested that level yet. And I just wanted to see where would this range break target be? Would be that level. Okay, so you can see this range, but basically that 4 hour range coincides with the last 1 hour range. So a break to the downside gets us to retest this breakout. And it's still bullish on the cloud. Okay, so yes, I think for me, direction will be dictated to by this break. And we could have more of the same. I mean, we could just do this. So if you've got lots of time today, it'll be worthwhile just watching it, taking your profits at the bottom of the tail, top of the tail, and until it breaks here, then getting in for the longer trade. Break to the upside is going to take you to look to the left, look for these tails to the bottom, And this tail here is your first breakout retest. There's your second one, and there's your third one. So your targets to the upside are going to be in that area there. Okay, and remember what I've said. If you watch the video on taking profit and entries, look for the most logical one. And for me, to the upside, this tail here will be the most obvious one. It's the one that stands out. Okay, this would be secondary, and that would be third. And each one of them is a valid target, but what you don't want to be doing is get in here, be able to bank 300 points there, then it turns, it doesn't get there, and then it comes back down this way. Okay, and then you're down, and your stop loss gets taken. So that's one way. To the downside, obviously, will be this area here. Okay, and the reason being, this is the major resistance and turn support. So this, we need it to turn support. It hasn't. It's just one bar that's touched it from a support perspective. So you'd expect it to come back and test it. And also this is the 200. So this is the range break target. So I think that's basically the way I'm going to play it. Wait for a breakout or any kind of price action. And I may just drill down to the 15 for this one, just to get some price action on the 15-minute, just to see where it forms its base, and then take the trade in the direction that it's going. Okay, and we can just drill down quickly before we close this one off. And you can see on the 15 we're also above the 200 EMA. And we have closed with an inside bar. So this could be, we broke this downward trend and we've now gone sideways. So a break either way is going to dictate the direction. And that's pretty much where we will be. And it's going to be short targets, guys. So this to here is going to be 200 and call it a 250 pip target. So keep your stops tight, keep your money in your pocket. Okay, that's the Aussie. I hope it helps. Remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll catch you later.